sunny day here, and it's the beginning of March. We've been busy out the back, and I will show you the update from there, but I've also started doing something out the front here. I'm just clearing out the winter weeds, really. As you can see, I've got as far as here, and then I shall dig it over, and hopefully we'll have some nice little plants to go in there and give us a bit of sunny colour this summer. The other thing we've noticed, of course, this is our grass. Well, I say it's grass, it's more moss. So we cut it earlier and found that the moss has come back with a vengeance. It tends to be very mossy anyway, and I think it was last year or the year before, we treated it and it did improve it, but it certainly looks as though it's going to have to be done again this year. So we'll give you some updates on that as we go. Also, turning to the back garden, as you can see, it's all still very wet out here, but I just thought I'd do a very brief update on the back as well. And just, I know that things in life make you remember certain people. This is one of those things. This was an indoor yucca, it's now an outdoor yucca, but we were given the original plant, we think around about 30 years ago by my nieces as a present, and it came with us from our first house to this house. It outgrew the dining room and is now out here because we're not really sure what we want to do with it, but it seems quite happy, and it's sprouting a second layer there, and I tend to put some pansies in, and I top it up with compost every year, and apart from the fact that it gets a little bit frosted, it sits there quite happily and reminds me of my girls. There you go, Steph, one for you. The bags of wood here are from the fence panels, so they've been broken up and will go into a dry place so that we got it to use as kindling for the next winter. Well, actually the way it's going about this winter as well. So we still got all these bits and pieces, plants, saplings, all sorts going on here. The bay trees are looking, all the cuttings are looking quite healthy still. Amazing, great news. So we also have, on the very wet grass, it's now been cut, we have the Daphne, and I wish you could smell it because it is now in its full bloom and it smells fantastic. It's one of the few flower smells that I really like. A few bits and pieces from last year that are sort of reseeding and coming on again. My pansies that are coming on. That'll be the third year they've come up through. Not much else to tell you really, except, oh, guess what? We're still eating leeks. The carrots are all finished, the patch dug over, and some of the items from the compost bin have been popped into there. We are picking purple sprouting. We've had a couple of feeds now. Sunday lunch was nice last week because we had those. We had our own leeks as well, which is great news. And if we look over onto the broad beans, as was pointed out by my father-in-law, we actually have some of them sprouting their flowers. A bit early, I think, but well, we'll see, because they quite like cold weather, and that's probably what they're going to get for the next couple of months. But we'll hopefully get something off of those. And the compost bin. Well, the compost bin has now been largely emptied. I say largely. Ken's managed to get out as much as he can. I'll just show you if I can lift it. So I've got to stir this up again, which some people say I'm very good at, but it's all sunk down to the bottom of the compost bin, and more compost has been put in there. I don't quite know how that bit got in, but we got more compost that's going in on top now. All sorts of things that we put in there, but essentially it's uncooked, so it is things like your peelings, your eggshells, tea bags, because we have compostable tea bags, coffee grounds, they're very good too, or bits of paper that go in there just to give it a little bit of brown. And also sometimes we get some of the branches that we actually shred up, and if it's small enough, that'll go in there. As we start cutting the grass, that'll go in there too, and that will sit there and cook as such until next year, when it will end up going back onto the ground. So anyway, that's the back garden.